What's up, YouTube? It's the Megaflare Dudes here with a deck profile of Zefra Dinos for this upcoming format. And right before we get started, I just want to let you guys know I will be doing a giveaway on Minerva as well as a Lightstorm core for it. All the information will be in the description below. But just to enter, it will be all you have to do is like and subscribe, as well as comment below. But other than that, we can get into this deck profile. And basically, my main reasoning behind playing Zefra Dinos is mainly because of Link Summoning coming out. I just had to find a deck that really didn't have to rely too much on the extra deck. And Zefra Dinos, honestly, is still a really valuable deck. And I was surprised that the OCG results shows that Zefra Dinos are still a really powerful deck in the OCG. Even with Links, even with True Dragos being a thing, this deck is still very valuable. So other than that, I'll get into this deck profile. So first off, I run the 3 copies of Zefra. This card can become any scale by essentially putting any monster from your main deck into your extra deck, and then it copies that scale, which is really good. And even though with Links, you can only essentially pin and summon one monster from your extra deck, you still have ways to put the pinless monsters into your hand, so you can essentially override the mechanic, which is really nice. And I'll show you guys once I get to it. Then I have 3 copies of Zefra Nui. Whenever this card is pinless summoned or destroyed by battle, you can search out any of your Zefra spells and traps, or Zefra/Yangzing spells and traps, which is really good. It comes in handy. Then we have 3 copies of Zefraxi, Treasure of the Yangzing. This card allows you to make any of your Zefra monsters into tuners, which comes in handy. There's ways this card lets you go into Charge Warrior very easily, or it gives you access to a lot of good synchros, which comes in handy a lot. 2 copies of Zefra Wendy. This is a card I was talking about. She essentially makes it where you can go into or bounce back any of your extra deck pinless monsters into your hand whenever she is normal summon or pinless summon, which comes in handy. So she just lets you keep on pinless summoning for free. Essentially, you don't have to be restricted completely by Link Summoning, which comes in handy. Then we have 1 copy of Zefra Thubin and 1 copy of Zefraxiton. These 2 cards essentially are your spot removal. Zefraxiton pops set cards, while Zefra Thubin pops face-up cards. And this allows you to be able to play going second. And just having natural spot removal comes in handy a lot. And that is your Pillar Monster lineup, which is essentially 13. For your Dino Engine, you have 3 copies of Oviraptor. Oviraptor essentially searches out all your dinos, which comes in handy. Other than that, it's just a really big utility box. And Dinosaurs are the most valuable engine in Zefra right now, because the Red Resonator engine was kind of killed off by Lynx. But honestly, this is the engine that gives you the most flexibility, as well as it lets you run a really big boss monster in Ultimate Conductor Tyranno. This card just single-handedly win the Zoo matchup. Being able to put cards face down, as well as enable OTKs, is really strong. Then I have 1 miscellaneous source to get out my Drak Alo, just to be able to turbo out this card called Danglong. Danglong, just being able to access Danglong basically for 1 normal summon is really strong. Hand traps are 1 Max C and triple Ghost Ogre. Ghost Ogre essentially hits all the meta decks right now in Zoo and 2 Dracos, as well as Maxi is Maxi. I'm going to play this till it get banned, honestly. The card is just way too dumb in this format. And that's basically my monster lineup at 23. For the spell lineup, I have 3 copies of Zefra Providence, 3 copies of Oracle of Zefra. These 2 cards allow you to search out any of your Zefra cards. Oracle searches out Zefra monsters, while Providence searches out any of your Zefra cards, which is really good. 2 Terraforming just to access to Oracle, which comes in handy. 3 Fossil Dig to just have more access to your dinos. 1 Book of Moon and 1 Upstart Goblin. Upstart just for consistency. Book of Moon, I just felt like I wanted a card that can help me go second, and Book of Moon does that. And just being flexible for the fact that it's good going first or second, because it's handy. Because you can always just set it if you're going first, and it counts as some type of disruption against the Zoo. While like Raigeki is really bad going first, because it essentially does nothing for you. You can't really stall out your opponent. And with a lot of people running my body as a shield, I just prefer siding Raigeki. For the traps, it just consists of 2 9 pillars, 1 divine strike, and 1 Zefra war. The 9 pillars and Zefra divine strike do the same thing. They essentially just tell my opponent they can't play the game by negating their card effects. While Zefra war essentially allow me to just be able to pop cards for free, which is really good. It's like Dire Wolf in a card. As well as it can be treated as a hand trap if I control a Zefra Pendulum Scale. And that's basically the main deck at 40. Just wanted to keep it down. For the synchros, it consists of double Danglong. Just really good. It comes handy for searching out my Zeph cards or Jangzing cards and extending my plays. 1 Charge Warrior for the combo. 2 is not needed at this point because it comes up, but it comes up like every other game. You're not getting this off like every game like you used to. 1 Manifest Horse because it comes up. Just being able to negate card effects and steal monsters is really strong. Clearwing is Clearwing. Just negating level 5 or higher monsters come up. Yazi is basically Scrap Dragon. Boxia is like Giant Chunade for any card, which is really, really good, honestly. Spark to prevent destruction. Ignister, or Igwister, of course. Really good. I love this card. 1 Omega, thank you Konami for reprinting this. Scarlight for spot removal. Crystal Wing. This is honestly one of the biggest plays now, because you can essentially go into but what's her name? Danglong, and you usually Pendulum summon out the level 3 monster and not use the effect, and you can just sync the Danglong and the level 3 monster going to Crystal Wing, and you still have a Yangzing monster, because whenever Danglong leaves the field, you special summon the Yangzing monster from deck, which is really good. So Crystal Wing comes up a lot. I honestly suggest playing it. Chao Feng, it auto-wins against Zoo. Grand Post for spot removal, and Ptolemy M7 just to add back cards. So that's essentially the entire deck, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Please like and subscribe for more content. Don't forget about the giveaway, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace, and Make Player Duels is signing out.